Hey, welcome to another real-time edit. Today I'm going to work on this sassy Common Yellowthroat here, giving me this fun head-on pose in some milkweed flowers. So first things first, let's start with a crop, and I'm just going to come in just a touch here. And I really want to keep this one centered. I'm not a big fan of generally centered compositions, but in this case, when he's facing directly head-on and he's right smack in the middle of the frame there, a centered composition seems to be what works for me. So let's exposure up, pop the highlight curve, bring the shadows up so we can see more detail on the head there, bring the blacks back to maintain the contrast. I'm going to throw a subtle radial gradient on here to just kind of darken the outside edge, and then just one on the bottom to bring the highlights back and make sure I have plenty of tone in those flowers. That's about it. Into Photoshop we go. Not going to be a lot to do, but a few things. Okay, first things first, a clone layer. You know, I'm really debating this kind of cluster over here. I'm not sure if I mind it or if I don't want it at all, so it's gonna be so easy to remove. Let's just remove it and see if I like it better with or without it. And I can kind of already tell you I'm gonna like it better without it, although, so it's a cleaner image without it, but it really feels unbalanced now. There's just kind of this weird empty space on that side. So yeah, I think in this case I'm actually gonna leave it. You know, normally I would like, it's kind of bright and it pulls my eye a little bit there, but I think it just kind of helps to balance out this composition, and I don't want to go off center. I could crop a vertical, but that would be a little bit tight. I should have shot it that way if that's how I wanted it. And then the only other complaint about this image is this out of focus leaf going through the foreground, but for me the pose outweighs that just because it's kind of head on and he's got a little bit of a an angry look there. So yeah, I think the image is good as is. There's nothing to remove in this case. So let's throw a dodge layer on and go kind of make these eyes really pop out. So since he's giving us this kind of head on, as I called it, sassy look, I really want to make these eyes and the catch lights pop, and we'll even kind of enhance the eye ring there at the bottom that's catching that light. So I really want these eyes to kind of stand out. So let's see how that looks when I turn it on and off. Yeah, there we go, right? Really draws your eyes into the bird's eyes. Maybe just a slight darkening in the leaves, the milkweed. Maybe I can do that. Just burn this side a little bit to kind of help. And then we'll burn these out of focus purple milkweed. And then let's really enhance the color of those purple flowers. So we'll add a little bit of magenta, red, and then maybe just a little blue so we stay kind of purpley. Let's get rid of that everywhere, and then we'll just go and paint it right in on the flowers. I'm going to maybe try a selection on that area. So we'll paint it on these out of focus ones, which is pretty easy. This whole section here is just a nice chunk of them. There we go. That was easy. We'll get that little one in there. You know what? Everything's soft enough. I'll just manually paint these in. I don't need to worry about a selection. And it's subtle, not a huge change here, but we're just getting a little bit more of those tones in there. And let's try a shot of contrast overall. Yep, that worked. A little bit too much on the yellow though, and right on the throat on this here Common Yellowthroat. If I wanted to get picky, I could kind of clean up that little kind of splotchy area, but he was kind of a wet bird, and I think it's totally works good. I mean, this is almost dead head on too. Blah. We're looking right down the beak there, which looks really good. So, gosh, not much else to do on this. There is the beginning, final edit, right? So not big changes, but subtle that make the eye go right into the bird, the viewer's eye, I should say. So we'll get that saved. We'll hop into Photoshop, and I'll just do a quick comparison with the original for you. And let's see, oops, this way. Let's reset this, just so we can see. All right, so slightly underexposed, and I was probably on an automatic mode, yep, but the camera went just a little bit dark on me, but no problem at 400 ISO. It came back without any degradation in the image, and there we go. There's the final edit, right? So we go from there to there. The bird stands out a lot more. Simple edits, and again, on things like this, especially with songbirds with soft light, to me it's all about the eye, right? We really need to see that eye pop, so popping those catch lights, even when they're big and soft like this, is really an important thing. All right, hope you enjoyed the edit. Thanks for joining. See you next time.